The whole thing.
Fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking dangerous. Look at this guy. He's got respect for the door. There's 4 million people coming in. It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming.
What is the cost of lies? It's not that we'll mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
About is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome back, Habbening Bros, to another Habbening TV. It's a Monday night again. Thursday night. Oh man, I'm getting my shows mixed up. Hope you've all had an excellent week. The UK is in decline. The new communist government is wasting no time in setting people's expectations for the horrible misery that is to follow. It's gonna be great. Like, look, if there's one thing everyone in the UK needs more of, it's general misery, right? Like, and look, to be fair, at least, 30-40% of the people in the country are white. Many of them are clearly racist, and they must be crushed by the lavender and sorrow-scented heels of Keir Starmer. Yes, Keir Starmer. Herr Stalin, yes, he's back. He never really went away, but when he's like away from the media, everyone sort of can pretend, I guess, for a while that he's not around and sort of delude themselves that things are going to get better, but they're not going to get better. And not only is that just sort of a foregone conclusion, Starmer himself has come out and said that things are going to get worse before they get better. Of course, what he really means is that things are going to get worse before they get worse. Fucking hell. Yeah, he's been doing the rounds. He gave this speech, like I said, he's like, things are going to get worse. They discovered a $22 billion hole in the budget that just happens to match the exact amount of money they've been giving away to, like the UN and on climate stuff. But look, the UK has to pay its taxes to the world government, right? Can't have a world government without taxation. What is supposed to fund all of that inefficiency, bros? And then, of course, there's all the money that they gave to Ukraine. Nobody really knows how much. It's probably a state secret. And then there's all the money that they lent to Ukraine that's going to get repaid in like junk bonds now that Ukraine has basically defaulted on all of its loans. I bet you didn't hear that in the news, did you? Yeah, I know. Ukraine is basically defaulted. Everyone's keeping it like hush hush. Obviously, because they're still like, Ukraine can win. And, it definitely all of that money has had absolutely zero effect on the countries that have given that money. As you can see, the UK is doing great. Everybody is like, just so impressed by how well the economy is doing and how much money everyone has, and everyone's fully employed. It's great. It's great. And in other communist news, Starmer has decided, you may recall when he was running for Prime Minister, he was like, I will tread lightly on the population. I think that was an actual quote. He's going to tread lightly on the faces of the white people who are still paying taxes. It seems like that a very, very large chunk of the UK, all the minorities are not really paying taxes at all. They don't speak English, so they can't understand the tax code. So, really, it's not fair to expect them to pay taxes. And of course, yesterday, Herr Starmer came out with his sort of first suggestion on how to tread lightly on the faces of the electorate by ratcheting up the smoking ban so that smoking will now be forbidden. Verboten! It will be verboten. There will be no more smoking. Keine Rauschen machen. Probably, right? You won't be able to smoke anywhere near pubs. No more beer gardens. There'll be like exclusion zones like outside hospitals and kindergartens and all this kind of other stuff. Of course, what this is basically going to mean is that, anyone who wants a fag is just going to have to like walk 5 minutes to get wherever they're going. The one outside hospitals is particularly like stupid. I mean, I know that, from like a retard's point of view, they're like, it's, hospitals are a place of health. Are they though? I mean, have you guys seen the NHS recently? But, they're supposed to appear to be places of health. It's not fair. It doesn't look good to allow people to smoke outside of hospitals. What, of course, they don't realize is that a lot of the people in those hospitals are not just sick people. There are like, visitors. There are like surgeons and nurses doing very, very stressful jobs who want to like nick off for a cigarette. This is expected to further impact the hospitality industry, but I mean, it's fine, right? Like, look, the ultimate goal is for everyone to sort of like not exactly be locked down, but for it just to be too expensive and too miserable to go anywhere. So you'll basically sort of have an ersatz lockdown. I mean, what do you want to do outside the house anyway? It sounds a bit suspicious to me. Do you have any cash? Are you carrying some kind of butter knife or anything? Oh, sorry, Ahmed. I didn't see that you were brown. Carry on. You stabbing a random person probably just doesn't understand the law here. We'll give him a stern talking to and send him on his way to his taxpayer paid accommodation just down the street from the high school. Fuck me. Honestly, I wish this was like more of a joke, but like legit, that's basically fucking what's like going on. I need a vacation, mate. This shit is messing me up. Right. So yes, and wait, what else have we got? So we've got the smoking thing. Starmer says everything's going to be worse, and our third story tonight. Wait, where the fuck is my brain at? Oh yes. So the UN got sort of like what's the word for it? Undercover recorded by someone from Louder with Crowder, a UN lawyer, basically coming out and admitting that the UN is a global government. I mean, everybody fucking like knew this. It's only like the retards like, the UN is not a world government. Well, then why do they say that they're a world government? Came out basically saying, oh yes, our aim is to have like, make everyone into like a global citizen, a particularly nefarious brand of commie bullshit. And they basically said they're like terrified that if Trump gets in, the UN will not survive. Oh no. Oh no. The UN won't survive. Oh no. Oh no. Oh mate. Oh, that would be, oh God, that would be a shame. Think of all the things that the UN does for us. I'm drawing a blank. Oh yeah, they did push COVID vaccines and lockdowns and everyone. Swings and roundabouts. Race communism. Globalism. All the good things. I am of course, am totally on board with the UN collapsing, and it does look like it's going to be a bit of a problem. Without America, the rest of the world simply cannot afford to fund the global government, and if the US breaks free of it and, you know, makes a success of itself, everyone will start looking at America and be like, well, they don't seem to need global government. They seem to be doing fine. Why do we need it? And the UN will be like, shut up, you racist. That's not very global citizen of you. Get to the global gulag with ya. Anyway, so yeah, that's our stories for tonight. Let's see who's in the chat on Rumble. Livia Drusilla, good to see you. Ivan the Horrible, Sedes Sapiente, Fox39 Forever, Capitan Crisps, Miss Twisted, oh, good to see you, Twisted. How you been? Teabagging Therapist, gang's all here. Lovely to see you all. Lovely to see you all. On YouTube, we have Bas Klutwijk. Good to see you, man. Yiz, of course, is in the Chizat. There will be a stream with me and Yiz tonight, but it will not be a normal Empire of Lies. I was supposed to do Lenin's Revolution and the State and how it relates to race communism, but I reached my limit. I was trying to stuff more communism into my brain, and my brain was just like, nah, we're not doing that. Nah. I'm like, look, it's only like a 30-page book. My brain's like, nah. Nip, like a child that will not eat its vegetables. My brain is just it's just communismed out. So I'm gonna take a break for a couple of weeks and see if, you know, I can let my sort of brain relax, and then I'll come up to it with some like applesauce communism and be like, communism, and hopefully my brain will be like, fine, I'll eat it, you know. Fist, I support your revolt. Thank you very much, Livia. Support the brain revolution. Fucking hell. Yes. So who else we got in YouTube chat? Budgie Burger. Good to see you, mate. Anybody else? That's a bit quiet on YouTube tonight. And honestly, we have Speak Your Mind, Tasia. Good to see you both as well. Today's meme, of course. I like this one particularly. As the Venerable Rene Descartes said when visiting London, I think, therefore I am arrested. Bruh, mate, these jokes, they're hitting a little bit too close to home for me, man, is all I'm saying. Oh, and we have the nameless one as well. G'day to you too, sir. And of course, please donate your time and money and messages of whatever via Entropy. The linky is in the description and in all the chats. No one likes to work for free, and I would very, very much appreciate your contributions. You can send rants on Rumble or via Entropy. Oh, Lomax is in the chat as well, mate. Spent the first 10 minutes of the stream trying to organize my desk toe and open 6 windows at once. Yes, I always have problems with my desk toe. As well, Lomax. Sometimes I get it like caught, and I get that like swollen desk toe. Always a bit of problematic. Sedes, I think Newsfist is pretty immune to commie thought. Yes, well, I'm more immune than the average bear, but it turns out even I have a limit. Anyway, speaking of commie thought, let's go to the news, shall we? I mean, oh, dude, it's depressing. I need some white pills, bro. God damn it. So, oh wait, this is the newest thing by the nanny state. You got a license for that cigarette there. Oh god, I just hate this so much, man. It's just retarded. Excuse me, it's just retarded. So it turns out that there has been a leak from Whitehall, possibly someone inside Starmer's cabinet. It turns out that there are at least a couple of smokers inside Starmer's cabinet. Angela Rayner, most notably pictured, she's a bit of a scouser. No, wait, rough girl smoking a cigarette. And one of them's probably like, oh, you're gonna take away my, ability to have a fag in the pub. And Starmer is like, yes. Oh my God, I heard a really, really weird thing. Apparently in one of his interviews, Starmer stated that he never dreams. He's like, I just fall asleep and then I wake up the next day. I have no dream. I think that he has no inner life. How do you inner kill something that has no inner life, bro? It's fucking hell. Ivan the Horrible. Recently found out you need a license to watch TV in the UK. What the hell is going on over there? Ah, well, yes, you do need a license to watch TV in the UK, and there's actually a license enforcement people that send you angry letters and come around and try and intimidate you, but they can't really do much. It's, it's more sort of like for show, basically. So, Starmer plots outdoor smoking ban. Leaked plans reveal the PMs aim to stop people lighting up in pub gardens, near football grounds, and in children's parks. Children's park is well, it's going to be like every goddamn park. I bet they'll probably just be like, you're within like 200 meters of a child. How dare you be smoking? Oh mate, I swear, smokers are a massively oppressed minority, right? And all the people are like, I don't like smoke. Well, I don't fucking like pride parades, right? You don't see me going around being like, right, fucking, go to Madagascar and hold your fucking pride parade, right? Like one of the things about a society is that, right, you're supposed to like deal with stuff that you don't find particularly pleasant. Back in the old days, we would have a smoking section and a non-smoking section, right? If you didn't want to fucking like be exposed, you just go to the non-smoking section. It would be fine, but like, nah. Livy Drusilla Starmer does not dream because he is brain dead. Yes. Yeah, it's a serious possibility, or possibly because he's a communist, and communists only have one dream, of course. Sparking fears for hospitality sector and nanny state accusation. Oh, nanny state accusation. It's not the nanny state. The state just wants what's best for you. They know much better than you. How dare you take command over your own body? Don't you know? And this like fucking, and of course, it's the same fucking argument that is like literally the go-to now whenever they want to do something horrible. Oh, the NHS, NHS, the holy NHS. Right, that all the taxes on cigarettes, right, were originally to fund the NHS. The deal was, right, we continue to let you to smoke, you pay taxes on cigarettes, and the taxes cover the extra costs to the NHS. How soon people forget. And now they're like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Right, it doesn't matter how much money. Could we possibly have a deal, right, where, I don't pay for the NHS, right? Like, people who don't want to use it. And then you don't also have to pay, like, taxes on stuff. Hey, no, that's never going to fucking happen. But, so yeah, smoking in nightclub, smoking areas and restaurant terraces could be banned. Great. So, where are all the cool people going to go and have like decent chats? The smoking area, by the way, is like where you have all the best conversations, particularly in a nightclub, because you can't hear yourself think in all the music. You know what I mean? You go out and you have a cigarette, there are other people there, like, you talk to them. Shisha bars could also be axed. Ooh, that's a bit Islamophobic here. Ooh, I don't know, mate. I don't know, right? Like, I'm totally, of course, in favor of doing anything that impacts the white population. But shishas, they're very ethnic. They're very Muslim. Well, I don't know about that. And with some pavements made smoke-free zone. Who the fuck is going to enforce this? Is this going to be another one of the things where they'll be like, I'm sorry, we couldn't find out, who stabbed your child and who broke into your house and, who's been stealing your mobile phone. But we do have police walking around, like, of course, it'll just be fines, right? They'll just be fining people. It'll be like added tax income, basically. So this thing fucking basically started under Rishi Sunak, right? And this is the thing, right? Sunak had this idea, this great idea that the Australians had, and then it like basically bled over to New Zealand. Guess where it came from originally? You'll never guess. It came from the fucking World Economic Forum. Of course it did, which got it from the UN, right? The WHO, right? They want to abolish smoking because they care for you, not because nicotine increases testosterone or anything like that. No. That's a conspiracy theory. They just want what's best for you. Yeah. Have you considered taking out the COVID vaccine? Fucking, you just want what's best for you. What do I get a chance to determine what's best for me? No, shut up, Nazi, fascist, racist, fuck off. Other locations are said to be grey areas and still under discussion, including beaches and enclosed popular parks. Now, of course, what's going to happen is that everyone will then switch to vaping, and then they'll start banning vaping. In fact, they're already on it. This could, oh god, look at this fucking pillock. Oh my god, I hate his face. I have never grown to like loathe a politician so quickly as this fucking spunk trumpet. He like, you know, I feel towards him now the way I feel towards Justin Trudeau. Except Justin Trudeau was not actually ruling the country that I live in, so it's a bit more visceral. Sedi Sapiente, saying what everyone is really thinking. PM says the new laws could or would. See, I've seen a couple of versions of this. One version said it could lower the number of preventable deaths. Others say it would, but the proposal is called authoritarian and nanny state. I thought that the cancer rate has, why does the cancer rate keep rising, right? Well, it's a mystery. Have you considered having another COVID booster shot? I mean, look, don't get me wrong, right? Like, I'm not saying like smoking is healthy for you. Like, go down to the organic shop and get yourself some fucking like free range tofu and fucking smoke up a cigarette, right? That's not my argument at all. My argument is that since the WHO used smoking to launch the first IHR, the International Health Regulations, right, which was the first instrument that gave it the ability to reach into sovereign countries and start controlling their health policy, it has just blown all out of proportion. Look, you're gonna die, right? We are all gonna fucking die, right? Like, some people don't seem to be aware of this fact. Some people seem to think, oh, look, once we ban smoking and we, ban meat and everyone's gonna live to 1,000 years. No, they're not. Have you considered having another COVID vaccine? Fuck it. Oh god, YouTube's gonna fucking nuke this stream. I don't care. I'm on one. I'm on one tonight, bros. YouTube can suck it. So yes. So here is like my starting. Wait, actually, I think I've got the speech. Oh my god! Every single time I look at this motherfucker's face, I just feel the life being sucked out of me. Ivan the Horrible, unlike the smorking, yes, I enjoy the occasional bit of smorking as well. Ivan, the tofu reduces the testosterone. Yes, indeed it does. I like to load my tofu with microplastics, actually. It gives it like a little sort of like frisson on the tongue. So here is our dear commissar telling you, shit.
My starting point on this is to remind everyone that over 80,000 people lose their lives every year because of smoking. That's a preventable death. It's a huge burden on the NHS, and of course it's a burden on the taxpayer. So yes, we are going to take decisions in this space. More details will be revealed, but this is a preventable series of deaths, and we've got to take the action to reduce the burden on the NHS and reduce the burden on the taxpayer. You said when you became...
Right, but you make insane amounts of taxes off tobacco products, okay, right? I don't have the number off the top of my head, right? But tobacco tax is like a serious money spinner. So, the government never, of course, can ever deal with its tax base shrinking. So where are you going to make that money up from? Kia, you fucking Keir Starmer, the llama harmer. Have you heard? He's very, very cruel to llamas. There's footage of him going out scaring llama. That's why they call him the llama or llama. Keir Starmer, the llama or llama. But sometimes when he's got his rag on, right, like when he's been listening to a bit of fucking Lennon and he's really in the mood, he comes out and he'll start actually molesting the llamas. That's when they call him Keir Starmer, the llama harmer. Bum. That's got to be my new name for him. Right, sorry, let's keep going.
Prime Minister, you wanted politics to tread more lightly on people's lives. This is the opposite, isn't it?
Well, there it is. There it is.
The horse's mouth.
That's it. He's going to do it.
They're just put it on their front page. They've seen documents. He's going to do it. And
so I am being told that I am still getting an echo on the clips, and I've got no idea why it is. I have gone over my audio settings and again and tried to so yeah, I'm sorry about that. If that's the case, bros, I have no idea how to fix it. It is extremely annoying. Oh yeah, so I thought that was the whole speech, but instead it's the spunk trumpets from GB News. Now the indoor smoking ban apparently led to the closure of 10,000 pubs, which supported 100,000 jobs. But, you know, who gives a fuck, right? They clearly want to get rid of pubs. It's where, like, people gather. You know, they could be talking, and, you know, the government doesn't know, like, what they're talking about. You never know, right? You never know what the hell's they're talking about. Have you considered staying at home and talking to people on Facebook where the government can watch you? God damn it. This is The Guardian, of course. Look at that picture. You see, look, that's the kind of guy that smokes. Look at him. He's white. He's got a beard. He's got tattoos. He looks like the wrong. So he looks like a bit of a wrong'un. Who still smokes in this day and age, right? I don't see how it's enforceable. Pub goers react to the idea of beer garden smoking ban. Of course, it'll be enforceable. What the government will do is they'll say, we'll send inspectors around randomly. If we find anyone smoking in your beer garden, you'll lose your liquor license. That's how they enforce, like, the indoor smoking thing. Fucking, oh God, come on, mate. Come on. I mean, how they're going to, like, stop people from smoking on pavements or something like that, I don't know. They'll probably just, you know, get some, like, snitches to do it. Here's a Labour MP saying that he's against death. Wow. Like, you know, he's for all the good things and he's against the bad things. Wow. You're for good things and against bad things. We have so much in common, mate. Except that I think freedom is a virtue, right? And that people should be free to make their own mistakes. You know, I mean, unfortunately, this is also the argument for legalizing heroin and child pornography. So, you know, I don't know if any of you ever watched Yes, Prime Minister, but there's like a great episode exactly about this, right? But, you know, I'll play a little bit of this. This is retarded.
I'm a Labour minister, of course.
I'm against death. I'm against killing people. It's a very old-fashioned notion. It's taken us a long time to get.
I presume then he's going to come out against the Ukraine war, and I presume he was fervently against the COVID vaccine. No. Apparently he wasn't. Shocking.
Here, I remember when I was in the last Labour government and we started bringing in gently cataclysmic rows of people like John Reid. You remember him? You very intelligent guy. He was obsessed, puffing away, and Defence Secretary. My God, the rows I had with him over smoking, and it just struck me as being bonkers. All my life going into working men's clubs, pubs, clubs, posh clubs. Even I can remember tube trains having compartments. I mean, you're probably too young to remember that.
Kennedy found it.
Good for him. Yeah. I'm all for maximum getting rid of smoking from our country.
Yes, mein Führer, we will get rid of smoking from the countries. There will be no more smoking. Who the fuck does this guy think he is? Honestly, former Labour MP. Oh, well, there you go. Origin Party. No, it's not the desktop and mic audio mixing. I don't know what the fuck it is. I presume it's my audio routing software, but I don't know how to fix it. I'm using the latest version. Anyway. Now, of course, vaping isn't safe as well. On literally the same day this dropped, the British Medical Association came out and said we need to pass legislation to tackle a vaping epidemic. It's not really an epidemic. You know, there's a bit of moral panic, I think, around vaping. They just want people to stop consuming nicotine, right? If they ban vaping, people will move to, like, you know, fucking nicotine pouches or some other stuff. And then they'll be like, you know, they'll have to pivot to some other argument. They're already preparing the ground to, like, ban nicotine pouches because apparently footballers like to use them. Ultimately, they'll just be like, oh, it's addictive. And, you know, we don't like addictive stuff. Are you going to tackle all the people dealing cocaine in London? Oh, yeah, but that's kind of hard, right? Leading UK doctors urged the government Wednesday to pass legislation to tackle a vaping epidemic, in particular among young people, by banning disposable e-cigarettes and all flavours apart from tobacco. The call came alongside the publication of a BMA report which said it was a blueprint for the bold actions needed. Bold actions! The previous Conservative government unveiled plans earlier this year to eventually phase out smoking alongside banning disposable e-cigarettes and restricting their flavours and packaging. Yes, and again, this was a policy that they got from the WEF, who got it from the WHO, which was rolled out in Australia, and it was going to be rolled out in New Zealand, and then Horseface Ardern lost the election, and the new government was like, nah, we're not going to do that. So, you know, You got to stem the trend. There's a vaping epidemic. 1 in 10 adults now vape. Oh no. Who gives a fucking shit? 6-fold increase between those aged between 11 and 17. Teenagers have always smoked as well. They just, bloody hell. So that's going to be, they want them all in brown paper packaging, and they'll, probably, eventually get to a point where, all the vapes will be covered in gore posting and all this kind of other stuff. Ugh. Anyway, as if that was not enough, Starmer has come out and basically said things are going to get worse before they get better. Things are going to get worse before they get worse. Starmer has warned that the October budget will be painful and has asked the country to accept short-term pain in order to advance towards the revolution, which he sees as a long-term good. So basically, they're preparing people for the next budget, which drops in October, and presumably it's going to be terrible. Check it out.
But I will be honest with you. There is a budget coming in October, and it's going to be painful. We have no other choice, given the situation that we're in. Those with the broadest shoulders should bear the heavier burden. And that's why we're cracking down on non-doms. Those who made the mess should have to do their bit to clean it up. And that's why we're strengthening the powers of the water regulator and backing tough fines on the water companies that have let sewage flood our rivers, lakes and seas. But just as when I responded to the riots, I'll have to turn to the country and make big asks of you as well, to accept short-term pain for long-term good, the difficult trade-off for the genuine solution. And I know that after all that you have been through, that is a really big ask and really difficult to hear. That is not the position we should be in. It's not the position I want to be in. But we have to end the politics of the easy answer.
End the politics of the easy answer. Have I told you, by the way, that everyone who disagrees with me is a far-right racist? End the politics of the easy answer. That's literally all he does. Oh, my God.
That solves nothing.
Indeed. It solves nothing. So, yes, there's a budget coming in October. It's going to be painful. Charlotte Gill, by the way, good follow. One of the few actual mainstream journalists I follow. We got to raise taxes. There's literally no solution. She runs this thing called the Woke Waste Project, which is really cool. And she just goes around basically digging into government grants. 185,000 for trans performance. 840,000 for Europe, the Europe that gay porn built. 1.7 million in grants for the Tamasha Free Palestine Theatre Company. 800,000 for a study of Romani gypsy lifestyle. 1.5 million on a project to decolonize folk singing and investigate its white centricity. 800,000 decolonizing the museum, digital repatriation of the Gandulu collection from the UK to India. 800,000 on a study that says the disproportionate representation of William Shakespeare in scholarship and performance has aligned early modern drama in the public mind with white, able-bodied, heterosexual, cisgender male narratives. Oh my God. These are all the people that are getting paid under Sadiq Khan to be his ideological enforcers. 113,000 for the Vagina Museum. 250,000 buzzers for bedwetters, incontinence, and the urinary body in Britain. I mean, yeah. So at Woke Waste, give it a follow. It's a good follow. Would highly recommend. Of the 22 billion that they suddenly can't find, well, there's 12 billion in foreign aid, 11 billion to fight overseas climate change, and 7 billion housing asylum seekers. It's almost certainly more than that. And Starmer has basically decided to cut the winter fuel allowance for pensioners. So, they're all going to freeze to death. But, and what he says we're doing is fixing the foundations of this country.
In our first few weeks, we've set up the National Wealth Fund because we want every person and every community to benefit. It's why we've unlocked planning decisions, because we're going to build 1.5 million new homes. It's why we set up Great British Energy to create good jobs and cut people's bills. And it's why we ended the national strikes that have crippled our country for years. Because I defy anyone to tell me that you can grow the economy when people can't get to work because the transport system is broken, or can't return to work because they're stuck on an NHS waiting list. I said change would not happen overnight. When there's a deep rot at the heart of a structure, you can't just cover it up. You can't just tinker or rely on quick fixes. You have to overhaul the entire thing. Tackle it.
I know I've said this before, but fuck me, he's a terrible public speaker. Like, just really, really terrible, right? A number of times he, like, breaks eye contact with the audience, right? He's always reading from his note. It's because he's always in court, right? He's always, you know, he's always, like, thinking he's, like, prosecuting a court. And, you know, he's completely devoid of any human feeling.
At root, even if it's harder work and takes more time. Because otherwise, what happens? The rot returns in all the same places, and it spreads worse than before. You know that, I know that, and that's why this project has always been about fixing the foundations of our country.
Gay, just so gay, much communism. Oh my god, but look, and of course, what would any Keir Starmer speech be without calling his political opponents far right and massively exaggerating and just flat out lying about a bunch of stuff. This is why I say basically he's speed running the Trudeau model. Justin Trudeau, of course, was famous for branding any opposition to his rule as far right and, you know, faking like Nazi stuff. Check this out.
But as well as the things that we've discovered, we've also seen shocking scenes across the nation. A mindless minority of thugs who thought that they could get away with causing chaos.
Spoiler alert, he's not talking about the migrants. No, he's not talking about the migrants, bros. That kind of, like, you know, thuggery is completely acceptable.
Smashing up communities and terrifying minorities, vandalising and destroying people's property, even trying to set fire to a building with human beings inside it. And as if that wasn't despicable enough, people displaying swastika tattoos, shouting racist slurs on our streets, Nazi salutes at the cenotaph.
That is a bald-faced lie. That is an absolute bald-faced lie. There was like a photo circulating of some dude. He was like speaking outside of Westminster, and he just, you know, they just caught him basically with his arm like raised to the side, and they're like, "Oh, look at the Nazi!" Oh my god, fucking.
The cenotaph, the very place we honour those who gave their lives for this country, desecrating their memory under the pretence, and it is a pretence, of legitimate protest. Now they're learning that crime has consequences, that I won't...
Well, it certainly does. If you're white, if you're brown or black, not so much, really, you know.
Tolerate a breakdown in law and order under any circumstances, and I will not listen to those who exploit grieving families and disrespect local communities. But these riots didn't happen in a vacuum. They exposed the state of our country, revealed a deeply unhealthy society, the cracks in our foundations laid bare, weakened by a decade of division and decline, infected by a spiral of populism which fed off cycles of failure of the last government. Every time they faced a difficult problem, they failed to be honest. They offered the snake oil.
Oh yeah, yeah. So they're going to be honest. The Labor government, they're going to be absolutely honest. Someone was asking me, is Starmer worse than Blair? Patriots Flow. Oh, good to see you, man. Yes, he is definitely worse than Blair. Although to be fair, they're just both sort of, you know, the same things on just, you know, on the road to communism, really, right? You know, the road always gets rockier the further towards the abyss that you go. You know, although, you know, Starmer did have a chance to sort of, you know, accept Blair's leadership and sort of, you know, pull back from the brink a bit and go for that sort of, you know, more managed technocracy kind of thing. But it looks like Starmer's government has snubbed Blair entirely, has told him to fuck off, and Blair is now basically on vacation. I think he's hanging out with the head of Oracle at the moment. So, you know, no doubt planning more digital ID stuff for various countries. Remember, the far right is a very real threat, says Keir Starmer. This is what I mean. He's going to do the whole Trudeau thing. The Prime Minister said the best way to deal with the snake oil of populism. None of these people know what populism means, right? It just basically means that the people want stuff that the government doesn't want, and the government isn't prepared to give it to them. And as people grow more dissatisfied with the fact that the government will not respond to their legitimate concerns, they just call that populism. Nationalism, yeah, or, you know, basically, you know, everyone must accept globalism, was through delivery and showing that there were progressive democratic answers to the many challenges we face is the way forward to the revolution. Yeah, I'm doubting that. I'm doubting that. Of course, in none of these speeches, by the way, did Starmer mention immigration in any way, shape, or form. I think, you know, the lefties have now basically sort of adopted the position that they cannot in any way, shape, or form say that immigration is a problem, because that will give legitimacy to their political opponents and the racists and the far right. And of course, this is from the BBC, and they always like frame this thing about, you know, the riots fueled by misinformation. Not fueled by those girls that got killed, right? And by the way, might I add, a month afterwards, we still don't have any information on the motives of Mr. Rutabaga as to why he did it. And I am starting to suspect that the reason that they won't say is because he was radicalized, quite possibly into Islam. I mean, his parents might have been Christian, you know, allegedly. I don't know. But there's nothing to say that he wasn't radicalized. You know, at some point, presumably, they're going to have to tell people. But I think they want to put, you know, as much distance between, you know, the actual event and telling people, right? They're very, very worried by the far right because of what's going on in Germany and France. The AfD is basically on the rise. There was a stabbing literally at a diversity festival in Germany. No, I shit you not. The city of Solingen, I believe, had an actual diversity festival which had a mass stabbing by a Syrian migrant. I mean, the jokes literally write themselves, right? Of course, it has been basically decided by the leftists and the globalists that I'm sounding like Alex Jones now. It's been decided by the globalists, but it's true. It has been decided by the globalists that they must not ever, ever, ever allow the right to gain power. And by the right, they basically mean anyone opposed to mass migration. That's pretty much what it means now, right? So he's over in Europe at the moment, sucking the cock of Olaf Scholz. This is what's going on in Germany. Despite the German state trying very, very hard to do everything they can to nerf Alternative für Deutschland, the AfD, by designating them like a terrorist organization, all this kind of other stuff, they're kind of like backed into a corner, because if they ban AfD as a party, it will give even more lie to their assertion that they have to save democracy, sede sapiente, repressive tolerance. Exactly. It is basically repressive tolerance, if you have read your Marcuse. For those of you who don't know, Marcuse's concept of repressive tolerance was that we must allow the left to do whatever the hell they want, and we must not allow the right to even be able to think, let alone speak. So yes, because of this, diversity stabbing, the AFD has gained even more popularity. But don't worry, bros. All the other parties have said that even if the AFD wins, they will not work with them. They are going to throw up a cordon sanitaire because democracy, bros. Democracy must be sacrosanct. And if there's one important thing about democracy, it is not responding to the legitimate concerns of the people. In other news on how fucking shit things are about to get, Ofcom has just basically said that they need emergency powers to tackle misinformation online. What this would basically mean is that Ofcom would have emergency powers to just shut stuff down in the event of an emergency, whatever that was. So, for example, in the previous riots, they would have been able to, I don't know. I mean, look, they just want to go back to how it was under COVID. That's what they want. That is their goal. They loved it under COVID, where, they just had a point of contact. They could just email someone and be like, ban that guy, ban that guy, ban that guy. Anyone mentioning this topic, you're banned, you're banned, you're banned. That's what they want. The Free Speech Union is trying to get a lawsuit going. This is one of the 5 recommendations put forward by the Center for Countering Digital Hate, a notorious Glow shop that was very, very big on the COVID censorship times. Yes, they're all back. They just, they want crisis response powers. They want basically to expand Ofcom into the Ministry of Truth. I mean, even more. Give the Free Speech Union a follow. They're about the only people pushing back against this. And of course, the Free Speech Union makes an excellent point. And this is not just about speech. When Starmer's talking about health emergencies and all this stuff, like with the WHO, what if they declare that the climate is a health emergency? Shit, what if they declare that racism is a health emergency? They were trying to do that in the US, right? Once they get this whole idea that once something's been declared an emergency, they can literally do whatever the fuck they want. Bro. Yep. The pandemic, health-related misinformation and disinformation. Look, it's whatever you want, right? So you might say oh, smoking's not that bad for you. You're banned. And Ofcom is already hiring a bunch of new censors, people to enforce the new online safety acts. Which when do they come in? They got royal assent last year, but they haven't actually implemented it yet. Now, there has been some conversation as to why this is. It may be that at the moment it's unenforceable, and one of the things that you don't want to do as a government is pass a law that everybody ignores. It makes you look weak, and if people get an idea that they can ignore one law, people might start ignoring others, and it's a bit of a slippery slope. Of course, slippery slope doesn't exist if it's anything that goes against the government agenda. The UK will, by the way, not may, will unveil tougher emissions targets at the COP29 climate summit. Apparently, all of the cutting emissions bullshit that they have is still not enough. The Tory government, quite famously, was not very keen on the net zero. Don't worry, guys, it's coming back. And the UK is going to be like, we're gonna take the lead. We're going to provide an example to the world. We want even more net zero. Fuck me. They're going to abandon fossil fuel production, commit to a future powered by renewables. I do hope you're going to enjoy this free trial of communism. It's basically mandatory. They pledge a 68% cut in emissions by 2030 compared to 1990 levels. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Actually, wait. Where's the? I got a thing for this. Where is it? Here we go.
It don't matter. None of this matters.
Dude. Right. And of course, pay per mile car tax changes are the way forward and needed as soon as possible. Can't have people driving. They might try to flee the next time that we impose a lockdown for whatever reason. It's fine. We're working on it. We'll just wait for something to come along. And of course, they need more taxes. Look, the UK's got a tax bill. They got to pay the world government. They got to pay all the climate stuff. Instantiating communism isn't cheap, bros. Now, another thing, as I was talking about, Ukraine has basically defaulted on all of its debt. But don't worry, bros. After being downgraded to a C rating by Fitch, they officially announced a default about a week before the Kursk invasion, interestingly enough. But don't worry, all of those bonds are probably going to get shifted to the UK because the Bank of England has now relaxed rules, basically saying that they can take on very, very dodgy assets in order to back their reserve. So that's great. That's awesome. Is this the Bank of England? The Bank of England's like going to make a new transition towards a new system for supplying reserves. Let's get ready to repo. The balance sheet plays a key role in helping the bank achieve its financial stability and monetary policy objectives. They're just going to load all of that debt onto the Bank of England. The bank will need to accept a broader range of assets as collateral to make the system usable for the widest range of firm business models. Yes. So, yeah. Now, finally, oh man, it's right. So, final story. The Stephen Crowder's team managed to get this interview with undercover camera recording with this guy who's a lawyer for the United Nations, talking about not only how much they fear Trump, but just all of the stuff that everyone, all the conspiracy theories supposedly that the UN doesn't want. Check it out.
One of the defining features of Islam is the nationalism, and one of the main enemies are what they call the globalists, and the definition of globalists.
One of the objectives of the UN is to create an identity of a global citizen.
They create this institution, which is the closest we ever got to kind of like a world government.
The United Nations does not have its own army. Absolutely.
I'm not sure the United Nations as an institution is going to survive a second term by Donald Trump. The United States government funds 27% of the UN budget.
Is that more than anyone else?
Oh, by a long stretch.
The United Nations, without the action of the United States backing it up, it's not going to be effective.
The purpose of Donald Trump is to end the international institutions that somehow level the playing field. It's a movement that is deeply nationalistic. It's America first, America make America great again, America. It wants America first.
What is the UN not? I remember.
We are terrified. They're terrified.
So the internal vibe of the UN is like no one wants Trump?
Absolutely nobody.
So is the UN just like useless now?
I would say for 95% of issues related to international peace and security, yes.
I was going to play the whole thing, but I'm running a bit short for time. But yeah, look, it's basically, all of the conspiracy theories turned out to be true yet again, right? Hashtag Alex Jones was right. It's retarded, right? Like, so look, if Trump gets in, 2030 is over, right? 2030 is not going to happen, right? The amount of like taxation and sort of money suckage and power that they need in order to instantiate global communism. It can't be done without the US on board. The problem, of course, for people in the UK is that we now have Starmer in power. So if Trump gets in, the UK government is going to be like fiercely opposed to anything he does. Maybe it's a sign that a bunch of people from the UK should just move to the US. There's also, of course, the global citizen thing. In case you are not aware, the UN wants everyone to be a global citizen, right? Which means basically, right, you're not supposed to care about your family or your people or the people around you or your country. You're supposed to care about the earth. You're supposed to take a holistic approach to the earth. And how do you do that? Well, if you're living in the West, by cutting your living standards down to somewhere around like Jamaica, we're already on our way, bros. The living standards are dropping massively. And just, basically do whatever the global government tells you to do, right? Because it's good for the earth. You want to be a global citizen. I guess the massive, the big upshot, the idea of that would be something like the EU spread over the entire earth, which means that anyone could move anywhere at any point, and of course the UN would have its own army. The kind of like shit they want basically is for everyone else on earth to be disarmed except for the UN. This is Robert Mueller, who is a massive, massive spunk trumpet. He's dead now. I wouldn't usually speak ill of the dead, but since this guy is pushing policies that are going to claim millions and millions of lives, I feel like I will make an exception in this case. This is from 1997. Just to give you an idea of how far back this shit goes, check this out.
It is the Earth which has become number one. We do not want population to increase. We would like to have consumption of the Earth's resources to be diminished. The environment and the Earth have become priority number one. And humanity has become priority number two. We have to adapt ourselves, our lifestyles, to the survival of the planet. Because if we continue for another 50 years the way we produce and have economics and multinational corporations selling everything they can sell, within 50 years this planet, you can mark my words, will be finished. So that this is why I would...
JG for loophole. Is it safe? Oh, mate, I got that joke. I don't know if anyone else did. Watch Marathon Man. If you're not aware of that joke, excellent film. Yeah, I see you're a man of culture, Senior Loophole.
Would even propose to do something audacious and new. I would like to get some of the best brains of the planet together and to work out a completely new scheme, which I would call Earth government, where we would have a system for the proper management and salvation of our Earth.
Yeah. And who would be in charge of that? Oh, you would be. Wow, what an incredible coincidence that is. I am amazed. Right, so that's the end of this gallery of horrors. Remember, please donate via Entropy. Man, it's been lean the last couple of shows. Right. Anyway, let's get on with some cringe. I'm afraid I've got some quite bad cringe for you as well tonight, bros. I apologize in advance, but you know the rules. If I had to watch it, you also have to watch it. And this is... anyone remember Nickelodeon? You know, back when it was like, you know, just a, you know, sort of like show for kids cartoons? Well, hold on to your butt plugs now.
Doesn't it just fill you with pride, showing who you are on the inside? You wave that pride flag up high, be true to you. Show your pride, wave those flags, everybody. Here we go. Red like orange, healing yellow is sunlight, green nature, blue harmony, purple is spirit, baby blue, pink and white represent transgender people, and black and brown represent the queer and trans people of color.
So Captain Crisps, I expect a new cringe meme every time. I tried looking for more. I can't find any more. Yes, I know. Look, just, you know, just pack some cotton in them. Ardent, you'll be fine, mate. Yeah, I know. Why? It's the cringe hour. Speaking of cringe, this is the latest Democrat attack ad against against the Trump campaign. This is pretty funny.
Driver's license, registration.
Here you go, sir. How's your day going?
That's your daughter?
Sure is.
Abigail, right?
How do you know?
Were you about 8 weeks pregnant? So you've been spotting recently. You've had any cramps or nausea?
That's personal.
You've been taking your prenatal vitamins?
Excuse me?
Are you ticketing me for something?
Where are you heading, Abigail?
To go see my older sister, Natalie.
Well, that's strange. This says here that Natalie's at a concert in Dallas. And your navigation is sent to a women's health clinic in one of those abortion states.
We have the right to travel.
Not anymore. Step out of the car.
Please, officer.
Both of you out now. You, sir, are under arrest for crossing state lines to obtain an abortion for a minor under your care. And you, young lady, well, you're under arrest for evading motherhood.
By the way, this is completely untrue, right? I have read the Project 2025 docs. It doesn't say anything about that shit. The funny thing, of course, as well, is that I can actually see the Democrats being like, looks like you're on your way to a Trump rally. You're under arrest for crossing state lines for the purposes of going to an extremism rally. Get in the back of the police van. Oh, God. Yeah, they don't really want you to check out Project 2025, obviously. I mean, the full thing is like 900 pages. But you can read the summary. Ardent Party, yes, this is a Kamala. Well, this is the Lincoln Project, so it's Kamala adjacent, basically, right? This is another one from Charlotte Gill. This is a woman who works with porcelain to interrogate whiteness. The UK government funds this shit, right?
I'm Victoria Berger. I'm an artist and PhD student at the University of Westminster, and my practice-based research uses porcelain to interrogate ideological whiteness. And I was really pleased to have the support of the EDI team and Zara to run a series of workshops for staff and students and the public at the university. And in the workshops, I wanted to use porcelain in a practical way, teaching some basic ceramic skills, but also to see whether it would help to facilitate a discussion about ideological whiteness, whiteness as power and whiteness as oppression, and how that is an important aspect of any EDI work.
My whiteness gives me power! Oh, mate, I love being white sometimes. I just sit on the couch and, just sort of bask in the knowledge that just by sitting on the couch, I'm like oppressing people. It's pretty fucking awesome, man, I gotta say.
I had a really good experience today. It was really informative, and I appreciated the safe space that it was. Almost like a confirmation, like, yeah, actually, it's okay. We are, what we believe, what we're thinking is the truth. Which is strange again, because it sort of taps into whiteness. Why do we need to come to a white space for that to be confirmed? So, yeah.
Good context to talk about it because it's not super academic, but it's kind of also kind of academically engaged. But it's engaged with theory, but it's also really accessible. So I think it's like a really good forum to talk about issues that can be a bit uncomfortable and also.
Yeah. So UK government funded this for. Oh, it doesn't say. Now this is a performance art that this woman put on. I think you will all agree that this is highly stunning and brave. After watching it, I was just like, wow, I'm not really into performance art generally, but this really spoke to me, bros.
Whiteness silences and whiteness asphyxiates. Whiteness was the police on black bird watchers, black barbecuers, black children. Whiteness makes schools and classrooms unsafe spaces. Whiteness silence.
Wow. I mean, just wow, man. Like that's really made me think, bros. Now this is like sort of a good example of N-word fatigue, I guess you could call it. Everybody's just developing that smug look now because everybody knows that words are useless, pretty much. Check this out. This is somewhere in America, obviously.
Karen, tell me how to parent my kid. And you have two right here. Why don't you worry about your kids?
I have one.
Whoever.
I worry about my kids and I worry about the safety of other kids.
Okay, so what safety issue is going on here? What safety issue is going on here?
The safety issue is you need to figure out how to parent your kids in a polite way.
You need to mind your fucking business is what you need to do.
I'm sorry, we're in a kid's store. We can't have that.
I don't care. Tell this lady to mind her business.
We really don't want the kids here.
Do you work here?
I do. I am the general manager.
Okay, well, you need to mind your business too because she is minding my business and she needs to stop.
And you have to stop using the language.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Use that language in a kid's
I don't care. She should have minded her business. I'm a grown adult.
Can I ask you to leave, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Let's go. Come on, Jade. And what's your name?
I don't have to give my name. Can you please?
You're in a public area. You do have to give your name.
You use profanity in a kid's store.
Sure.
Can you please leave?
What's your name?
I'm not giving my name.
What's your name?
Can you please leave?
Because now I'm being harassed. What is your name? Yeah, sure. So I can get your name.
Man, the bar for harassment has really gotten really, really low. It's like, oh, help, I'm being oppressed by whiteness. Fucking hell.
Is there a zebra there?
Oh, yeah, that's it. There's no satisfying fight afterwards. You don't get to see her get chucked out by the police. Bit of a shame. This is pretty funny. I don't know who this guy is, but he's all over a couple of the Telegram groups that I harvest clips from. Check this out.
Basically, I'm not a beast, but because of some bad people, I have to become a beast.
The beast will redeem, sir. This is like a bit of stand-up for you. Here we go.
All the conspiracy theories come out around it too. I don't know what to believe. All I do know is that if our government tried to do an assassination attempt, that's kind of how it would look. Right? It was very inefficient. That was the DMV of assassination attack. That's not good. They had a very small budget, you could tell. They wanted to do it with a grassy knoll at a parade like they were used to. They're like, we can't swing that, we gotta do a tin roof at a town fair, that's all we got. Can't get any ex-military people to take the shot, let's get the kid who came in last place on his marksman team. That apparently high schools have marksman teams. I've never tried it. Dude, that was just one big government block of cheese. That's all that was. It was insane. I was hoping Trump was going to come out the same day, ear still bleeding, and do the press conference. They tried to shoot me! They tried to shoot me. They were too slow and I'm too fast. I dodged the bullet. They didn't even see it. I saw it coming from so far away. It was like the Matrix. It was all in slow motion. Call me Neo. I'm the chosen one. They say he was a Republican. That's what they'll tell you. They'll say he was a Republican that shot, but I'll tell you right now, he shoots like a liberal. I'll tell you that. He shoots like a liberal. Not straight. So not straight. They said it was a fake bullet. That's what they said. It was a real bullet. We found the bullets. Turns out the bullets, they were made in China. That's where they were made. They were little teeny tiny Chinese bullets. So small, so tiny. I shot the guy back. They cut the cameras. They didn't show you that. It was me who shot him. I pulled out my Glock and I shot him right in the fucking face. That's what I did. It's crazy.
That was awesome. I have no idea who this person is. If anyone in the chat knows, this guy has serious talent. But I got it off Telegram, and then there was no tag on it. So this is funny too. Enjoy.
Hi. Hello there. Hi. I work for the Harris and Waltz campaign. Take it off. No, I'm gonna leave it there because.
No, you're not gonna leave it there.
Oh, why?
Because I can't stand them.
Do you not support tampons in men's bathrooms?
No, I don't support tampons in men's bathrooms.
Why?
Because tampons are for women. Where are they gonna stick it up their ass? Get it the fuck out of here!
Well,
Get out of my property!
It looks good there though.
Wait,
don't touch my sign! That's my sign!
I don't give a shit. They're a bunch of fucking communists.
You didn't address me by my pronouns.
What are you? He, she? Fucking transgender is what you are.
I'm Two-Spirit.
Never change, Amara Bros. Never change. Yeah, this is really funny too.
Mr. President. What is it? Green Goblin is attacking New York City. What? He's causing mass destruction right now. Should we alert Spider-Man?
No! Send $50 billion to Israel right now!
True, it do. People don't think it do be like that, but it do. This is a clip from The Sopranos. I found this is really good.
Her bike was stolen from outside the library 2 weeks ago.
The 10-speed? Did you lock it up?
They used bolt cutters. Some black guy from the neighborhood. One of the other kids saw him. What?
Did I say anything? The black guy. Imagine that.
Tony.
It's just, you know, I can't believe it.
I'm not listening to this shit.
Why don't you admit it? You're thinking exactly what I'm thinking.
Tony, what did I say?
What is it, my fault? You're twice as likely to be robbed by a black?
That is so fucking racist.
Happens to be a fact.
I really should rewatch The Sopranos. I could use some old school TV. This is good too.
Are you ready for the next generation of artificial intelligence? Introducing Kamala AI, the only AI that combines all the intelligence and wisdom of Vice President Kamala Harris into one groundbreaking app. Whether you're looking for circular reasoning, vague affirmations, or just a good old word salad, Kamala AI delivers.
Hey Kamala, what is AI?
AI is kind of a fancy thing. It's first of all, it's 2 letters.
Hey Kamala, how are you going to reduce inflation when you are president?
Think about what that means.
So Kamala, who's running the White House?
Kamala AI is for entertainment purposes only and should not be used to solve complex problems, manage foreign policy, or pass the bar exam. Side effects may include confusion, prolonged pondering, and a significant increase in circular conversations. Kamala AI does not guarantee clarity, logical reasoning, or coherent thoughts. All statements made by Kamala AI are nonsensical and should not be taken as factual, literal, or legally binding. Just think about it.
Honestly, you'd probably get more sense out of ChatGPT than Kamala. This is really funny as well.
Okay, Blaze. So you're gonna be my Uber driver, and I'm gonna be a random.
Uber driver.
I'm gonna be a random drunk girl that gets in. So this is a test.
Wait.
Better act right.
How drunk?
It doesn't matter how drunk. Okay.
Fuck it, come on.
Hi.
Hola, where we going?
What?
You say you got what? Oh, that's far. Damn, you going far.
Yeah,
You're not from around here?
No.
Alright, just buckle up. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep you going.
Fine. You're pretty cute, though.
Huh?
You're pretty cute, though. Do you have a girlfriend?
Shit, I don't know if you don't snitch.
What the? Oh! You will actually die if you actually do that! Okay, Blaze. So you're gonna be my...
This boy a player. Know what I'm saying? Right. Time for cute animal videos. Enjoy Dancing Owl.
Can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Puppy with cheese.
C'è la luna messa male, mamma mia, me Natale. Se tu mi accuttelare, mamma mia, passaccia tu. Se te non mi aprisci a uno, chi te va, chi te deve sempre baccalare del male bene. Se ci picchia bande, se baccalare, perché me.
Aw, he likes the cheese. Sede Sapiente sent me this. Ever wondered how a rabbit gets a CT scan? Aw. He's all snuggled up with a laser on his cute nose. Total blackout painting. Why does a rabbit need a CT scan? Well, that's a good question. In fact, I asked myself exactly that same question. Fliffy cats.
Une bougie peut illuminer la nuit. Un sourire peut bâtir tout un empire. Il y a toi, il y a moi. Personne n'y croit, mais l'amour fait d'un fou un roi. Et si tu m'ignores, je me battrai encore et encore. C'est ta love story. C'est ta love story. C'est l'histoire d'une vie. Love story.
Right. Just a couple more. I don't know what animal this is. I presume it's not a ferret. Is it like a mink? Check it out. Aww. And our final cute animal video of the night. Fox 39 Forever, this is for you. Always try and end with some foxes. And that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. We will be doing a stream. I will be doing a stream with Yiz tonight, but instead of usual Empire of Lies, it will just be me and her chatting about the consequences of Gamergate. It was just like the 10-year anniversary and why you should play old video games. I got like a few suggestions for you all. Yeah, as I said, my brain just couldn't take any more communist theory. It ran out of space. I had like a little hard drive crash or something. So, you know, it should be fun. Come along. And we'll also be having like a chat, like Q&A and stuff. So, you know, if you want to participate in some audience interaction, come along. It should be good. Say a quick goodbye to the chat. Rumble, Ardent Party, Total Blackout Painting, J Chiva Loophole, Miss Twisted, Yiz the Eunuch, of course, Teabag and Therapist, Lomax, Fox 39 Forever, Jay Chiva Loophole, Patriots Flow, Total Blackout Painting. I think that's everybody. On YouTube we have Charlie Reedy, The Nameless One, Streaky Bacon, Bas Klutvike, Daily Rapture. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody. And on Odyssey we have Tasia, and I think Highland Full, and Speak Your Mind. Thanks for showing up, guys. Hope to see you on the stream later tonight. Otherwise, I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Good night, everyone.